Hello again, class. Welcome to day 2 of your Shoutcasting lessons. I'm Octavian. I'll be your professor. Let's get right into it. So, in the last episode, we talked about the very basics of what shoutcasting is, and followed it up with the 3 ways of doing a shoutcast: solo casting, or one of the 2 roles of duo casting. If you're unsure what I'm talking about, please go and watch part 1. The rest of this series won't make much sense unless you're aware of what I'm talking about from the beginning. In this lesson, I'll be trying to answer one of the most common questions I get. Where do I start? Understanding what shoutcasting is and actually doing a shoutcast are 2 very different things. You can have all the knowledge of the skill that you can possibly garner, but without practice, you still won't do too well on the mic. So the best place to start? Wherever you can. Find a small community in need of a caster for a local event. Find a new shoutcaster looking for a duo partner, or just start up solo casting yourself in your free time. As I said last episode, solo casting can be a great place to start if you're unable to find other avenues, but constantly keep an eye out for opportunities to duocast. Before you begin attempting to record shoutcasts of your own, I would highly suggest dedicating some time to watching shoutcasts done by others. The recordings of LCS matches have some of the highest quality shoutcasting around, and just listening to other casts and paying close attention can really help you pick up a few things. A personal method of mine to get myself to pay attention mainly to how the cast is being done, rather than just watching the game, and thus learn the most from it, is to minimize the window and just listen to the voices of the casters, paying close attention to timing, tone, and how they hand the action back and forth from one caster to the other. Now, as far as jumping into your first cast, I have a few more tips for you. First and foremost, prep. If you're able to research the teams playing, do so. If you feel shaky on the ability names for some champions, or the names of the new jungle camps, then spend an afternoon just flipping through random champs on LoLWiki and memorize the ability names. Make sure you know your game inside and out before you start a cast, and keep a mind open and willing to learn as you go. Second, don't be afraid to suck, 'cause you will. I promise you that. Your first cast will not be very good. Neither will your second. The trend is likely going to continue for possibly dozens of casts to come. Shoutcasting is a skill and not an easy one. The important thing, however, is not that you are amazing right away, but rather that you strive to be amazing. Use your previous work as a tool to learn about yourself. Pinpoint what is done poorly and work on it. I'll be devoting an entire lesson to practicing and the best ways to do it later on. But for now, just don't get discouraged by a slow start. Now, if you've prepped and you've got some footage and a record button ready to hit, there's one more thing you've got to do before you start up recording. You've got to make sure that you have the equipment. You need a computer powerful enough to handle recording or streaming if you want to live shoutcast. You need a microphone that won't make you sound like you're talking through a tin can. I personally use the blue Snowball Ice. There'll be a link in the description. And you'll need video editing and recording software to get you going. The software and hardware I use will all be listed in the description, but I mention this only to make sure you are aware of it. I've seen too many casts ruined by a bad mic or too many dropped frames. Well, you've got some prep done. You've got a decent mic. You've listened to some of the best and you're ready to learn and improve. You've gotten to the point where you're just about ready to start your first cast, and it'll be groundbreaking. You're the next Jaddington, the next Freak the Third, the next Rivshot. You just need a chance to show it. Well, tune in next episode, where I'll be going over the nuts and bolts of your first shoutcast, and what to do with the recording afterwards. For now, I leave you sitting at your record button, prepped and ready to go. My name is Octavian, thank you for watching, and I'll be seeing you next time.